Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG-TV with Dan the Voice Diker, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning.
Hey, race fans, welcome in again. Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG-TV. Doc Niles, Paul the Penguin. I'm Radio Man Dan Eicher, coming off of a whopper of a weekend last weekend. I should have been announcing 3 times in 2 days, but it was 2 times in 1 day. Started things off on the Tomah 200 lap enduro. We had a good count there. We're going to talk deeply about that here in a minute. And then flew down and did Dells Raceway Park with Kurt Keene. Had a great time down there and decided, hey, I got nothing going on a Sunday. Wasn't announcing the Cranfest parade this year since it didn't have a parade, so stick around and watched one of the best endings to a Tundra race. Pretty much one of the best endings to a supermodel race.
Yes, and one of the best endings to a Tundra season ever. So.
Wow, even Paul was in the VIP box yelling and hooping and hollering. I was like, holy cow, I thought his chicken from Jose's was coming back.
Yeah, but his picture didn't look like he was too enthused, and you snapped a picture of him eating.
Well, he smiled right afterwards, but you should wait till we do the radio TV show live from Oktoberfest next week, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to actually live demonstrate how he scoops Jose's cheese sauce onto every single piece of chicken. It took him about an hour to do this, but he almost got the whole thing clean. It was amazing.
Oh, my God. Getting
into that, next week we're going to be filming at Oktoberfest Race Weekend. It feels like a holiday. As much stuff as I've been posting over the past week or so. The world's largest family race reunion comes to an end next week, and we're going to get it going on Wednesday as we tape the show from the Winner's Circle at Oktoberfest before the first official practice gets underway.
Is Ramsel joining us again this year?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Kevin's going to be up Tuesday. And then we're going to be doing the live TV and a radio show at the same time from Oktoberfest Saturday at either 11 or noon. We're going to let you know. Watch our Facebook pages because we have a special guest that we're trying to get on to spend about an hour with. So let's back you up. Let's get to the Tomah Sparta Speedway. 40 cars, Paul. It wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't like the size of La Crosse with about 104.
Yeah.
But with 40, they had room to run.
Yes, they did. They did have a lot of action, but there was a little bit of chaos in the early going of that race.
Let's get into that right now. Jesse's just going to roll a whole bunch of video as we're talking over the top of that. 40 competitors took the green flag and set sail on an adventurous 200 laps of chaotic and exciting racing at Tomah Sparta Speedway. Brandon Bud Reedner quickly shot to the front of the field using the old racetrack in turns 3 and 4 to his advantage. Man, did he make that work, too.
Oh, yes, he was just, oh, my God. Couldn't believe he was motoring through that.
He did his homework is what it was on how to get around that track. Matt Moore and Matt Heim got into their own battle for second, but were losing sight of Reedner at the same time.
Hard contact on lap 31. Tim Murphy Sr.'s world gets turned upside down. His minivan blasts the wall. They'll red flag the race here at lap 31. Murphy is going to be okay, but his day is done. They no sooner get this bad boy going. 6 laps later, Thomas Winkler, hard contact into the turn 3 wall. Jacks that car up, but he stays inside. He doesn't go over the fence. He comes out, he walks away from it, but his car is totaled. He is done for the day.
Yes, and Reedner continues his impressive pace. Field takes the red flag just past the halfway point after 102 laps for the 10-minute break. Reedner with a 3-lap advantage over Heim, Matt Moore third, Alex Holscheid fourth, and Cale Slater running in fifth. And we have 27 cars that come back out for the second half of the Tomah 200. And Dan?
Well, what made that interesting was Matt Moore finally caught Matt Heim. He trailed him the entire enduro, and 3/4 of the way through, he finally laps him, which means they're both at 164. And then a couple laps later, Moore got around Heim again, and he actually took the lead for second place 1 lap better than Matt Heim. Now, Reedner, that is, made a mental mistake, and we thought his whole day, he was dominating this whole enduro. We thought it was done. When I look up, 38 to go, he's facing the wrong way in the worst part of turn 4 to be at. Looped it around, tagged the inside tires, sat there for a minute because he couldn't get his car back on the track. All the traffic's coming around. He finally gets back out, and he still keeps the lead. Moore and Wiedemann get mixed up on the backstretch with 27 to go, but Moore never lost that 1 lap of ground to Heim.
Yeah, and it's, even though Reedner showed everybody, how he could transition from the old track to the new track, It's not for everybody. As Austin Dvorak would find out with just 7 laps to go, as he would spin out in turn 4, but it did not stop Riedner. He would be far and away the car to beat when it came to this race. Walked away with an impressive win of the Daytona 200 Enduro. Say that 3 times fast. Picks up the $500 check for the win. Congratulations to Bud Riedner.
And I'll tell you what, again, there was a lot of wide open racing. Right before we got to the 102 lap halfway mark, I'd say half the field started watching Riedner, because they said in the drivers' meeting, any part of that track is your part of the track. And during the race season, we put cones down so you can't get on that old part because there's such a lip. You get off that lip, it's hard to get back on, as Riedner found out.
You know, and you used them 4-cylinder and 6-cylinder cars with them smaller, 13 and 14-inch tires. Big mistake.
Well, Riedner found that out. We thought he was done. I mean, we saw the cars were coming around. He couldn't get his car out there at all, and I thought it had stalled at first. But I tell you what, a lot of drivers started picking up on that. Well, then here comes the dirt, and here comes the chewed up grass, and it started making turn 3 a little bit more slippery, because all the dirt and the mud was being brought up from the grass in those tight corners. But overall, I thought it was a success. 40 cars, lasted about hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours. Had a great time, and I know the drivers had a great time as well.
Oh, yes, it was a great time.
The one thing that impressed me, you're talking about how fast Riedner was. You posted the halfway point at how many, how everybody was standing. I couldn't believe at 102 laps, Riedner was 3 laps ahead already. That was impressive.
And he got those laps early, and then we were really watching him. He picked those up right off the bat. I mean, his strategy was to cut the corners as much as possible, and he was blowing everybody away, and I don't think anybody even knew that was going to be happening. He picked up those 3 laps early, and then he kind of paced himself. He stayed out of harm's way. I never saw him get into a wreck. He wasn't one of the unfortunate ones that had, Greg Brown or Chris Brown went off the track at least a dozen times with problems. He paced himself, and then when he came back out, that's when he started really picking up things, because Moore was hunting down Heim, and at the same time, now here comes Riedner picking cars off left and right. And I think at one point he was 6 laps ahead of Matt Moore.
One question. Is this the same guy who tried to take out the bell last year?
No, that was Kyle.
That was Kyle.
Yeah, that was one of the other Riedners. Yeah, Kyle's the one that knocked the victory bell out of the infield, and to this day I don't know how he didn't hit all the about 5 or 6 billboards to the right of that. But yeah, the Riedner name lived on. One of them took out the victory bell, and one of them won the Enduro. Now our race director Chico, he's going into the Southeastern Racing Hall of Fame here on November 9th. So a lot of history with the Riedners at Tomah.
Definitely. Greg Oliver does want to thank all the staff here at Tomah for their hard work throughout the season, the drivers of the teams for coming out to support Tomah Sparta Speedway, and also the race fans for coming out and spending their Friday nights at Daytona. And we've got the banquet coming up on November 13th, so stay tuned to TomahSpartaSpeedway.com or their Facebook page for information.
I want to let you know real quickly who we are being brought to you by today, Billy.
Big Boar Barbecue, voted #1 in La Crosse County 7 years in a row for both barbecue and catering. Carry Heating and Air Conditioning, yeah, even though we got this little warm spell right now, hopefully lasts for about another week and a half. It's not going to last forever, folks. Get that furnace checked out. Fansarena.com giving us our duds. Here's the radio duds. Here's the TV duds. And, of course, our friends at Epic Media and Vinyl, great sign they got behind us. Thank you all for being partners in the 2021 season. And a shout-out to Dave Haas for being a loyal watcher every week.
When we come back, we're going to show you a little bit about what Paul and I got to see in the Tundra Championship rolled through the Dells last weekend. That's next on KQEG TV.
Would you like a job making people happy? Well, I believe we can help you out. Big Boar Barbecue and Catering has openings for both full and part-time work. Days, nights, or weekends. Need to be free on weekends or need to be done by the time the kids get out of school? We can work with that. We need hard-working, energetic people who love to make people happy because our food makes everybody happy. Join the team at Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16, West Salem. Now that's a mouthful.
Big Boar Barbecue.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that really actually matter. Like figuring out which remote turns the TV on, or the smell in the vegetable crisper that in no way can be vegetables, or finding your phone when you leave it on vibrate. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Welcome back, race fans. Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV, along with Doc Penguin. I am the voice radio man, Dan Diker. Not going anywhere this weekend. National Short Tracks are in Rockford. But I'm going to stay home. I'm going to go to open practice, which is for Fest this Saturday from 10 until 3. Then I'm going to get the rest of my camper ready to take out on Monday and do some DJing and just get things all set for another huge Oktoberfest Race Weekend. Last weekend, again, announced at Tomah. Thank you, all the race fans, for coming out to Tomah Sparta Speedway this year. Had an absolute blast as Greg Oliver completed his 4th year promoting that track, and our next time we'll be out will be New Year's Day, another Enduro.
Chill Chaser.
Boy, I can't wait for that one. You know, we spent last week and then announcing in the Dells and Friday night jury. Thank you very much for having me down there. Sunday stayed for the Tundra race, and it's a good thing I did because it was one of the most exciting finishes to a Tundra race I had seen in quite a long time. And this came down to Casey Johnson. Give us the quick skinny here. It was pretty much 39 car field, expected 44. The major story was Casey Johnson versus Riley Stenjum heading into this one.
4-point lead for Riley over Casey entering the show at the Dells. Riley actually had faster lap than Casey, so there was a little more points for Riley.
He was up to 12 at one point.
Yes, then Casey, I believe, finished second in his heat race, so the lead got chopped down, I believe, to 6 going into the big 105-lap feature.
So then the feature goes on. Jordan DeVoy led this thing from the outset, which was shocking enough as it was. I mean, not because it's Jordan DeVoy, but to find anybody to lead this 105-lap Carl Wegner Automotive Research race was phenomenal. But there was so much jockeying and fighting going on for positions all the way back. Then it came down to the final couple laps, and this is something you never see really out of Riley. You don't really see it out of Casey. Luke Fenhouse got involved. But with 4 or 5 laps to go, man, Riley Stenjum needed a lap past one car.
Yes, he had to get by Quattro there, and he just gave him a little nudge, and he got in there in for third.
Stenjum had the nudge. Casey Johnson a nudge. Luke Fenhouse got nudged. Mike Litchfield got nudged. It wasn't like they were throwing him off the racetrack or just sweeping him off. Bill, I'm sure you've been through this before.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, the championship's on the line. We're going to trade some paint.
You know, you guys have laid this out really well. How about we let them watch it for themselves?
This is outstanding. Here's about 5 minutes of what we saw, what Riley Stenjum got to see with the spotters talking in his ear. It's clean. Here we go.
It's been restart. Nice and slow. Big cell in the 3 pace car. Not off here. Be ready. Ready. Be ready. Be ready. And roll. One out here. Green's out. Green is out. Got one outside. Even up. Even running still out there. You see him. A fight even up.
Not going to make it easy for Luke Fenhouse.
Outside even. See him. So out there you see him. Coming back to 10 here at the outside door. Hanging bumper. Hanging bumper. Get a good drive. Hanging bumper. And clear. On your side here. On your side. Protect the bottom here. Easy roll.
Fenhouse through that turning. Backed up a little bit.
Clear by half of 34. On the side in line with you. 1, not 10 to go here, bud.
Johnson knows he needs another spot. He's going to get the business of
Easy here. So clear by half.
There goes Casey.
They're half in line with you.
Fenhouse going to give it back to him. And here
It'll be an easier to do it than the 5, so clear by half.
So now what can Riley Stenjum do? It's
Go one, focus forward, follow 4 for the next 7 to go here. Smooth and straight, set him up. There you go.
Stenjum making contact with the 4.
Clear by 1 to the 44. Smooth and straight here, bud.
Riley Stenjum knows that this could be the moment he's going to give the lead.
Easy. There you go, so clear by half roll, outside you see him.
Stenjum, he wants that point
Spot there, keeping up. Easy here, bud. Keep rolling, still out there, you see him.
There goes Stenjum to third.
And roll, still by half to the 4.
That puts him back in the point lead.
For 1, double file back, 5 to go here, bud. 5, smooth and straight laps here. Whatever you need. Still clear by 3, double file out back.
5 to go. Richfield up.
Keep smooth and straight. Don't be flipping wheels for me here, bud.
Right now it is Stenjum by
4 to the 44. 4 to go.
What an incredible ending to this one, and it ends now.
Food, straight 1, 2, 3, and 4. Coming back to 3. Clear by 3 to the 44.
He needs it. He needs that last spot.
Easy. Food is straight off the bottom here, bud.
3 down.
And back to 2.
2 to go.
Clear by 1.5, now 2 to the 44.
And Casey Johnson
Easy. Smooth and straight, so clear by 1.5.
trying to catch up. They're joining away. The white flag is
Get to the white here, bud.
It's 1 lap remaining in this one.
Clear by 2 to the 44.
Riley Stincham in third. That would be the difference.
So bud, smooth and straight to 3 and 4, so clear by 1.
Casey
Coming in the
Johnson
checker here, bud.
second. And Riley
Half,
Stincham
3/4.
champion.
Checker out. Think we got it here, bud. Think we got it. Oh yeah, got it. Oh yeah. Hey, for the good. Congrats, Cliff. Front stretch here, bud, to the front stretch. Yep.
How about that for bumping and banging? And again, there's a championship on the line. There's a feature race to be won on the line. It's the last race of the year for a lot of these guys before Oktoberfest. Could you have expected anything less?
That's excitement. That's the way you want to see it. You don't want to see somebody holding somebody up for a teammate. You want to see them going tooth and nail, door to door, occasionally bumper to bumper, as we saw, and you get a finish like that.
And we got to give credit to Quattro coach Michael Litchfeld. He does watch the replays of the TV show. Set a new Tundra track record. How about this? 13.221.
Yeah. Nice. That's why he's one of our favorites.
Yeah, he had a heck of a weekend, too. He was winning trophies and money left and right on that racetrack, and he was one of the favorites going into that one right there. When we come back, we're going to get you set for Oktoberfest. Back in 2017, there was a female driver that had never picked up a Midwest Truck Series win. What a time to do it at Oktoberfest. That's next on KQEG TV.
Are you tired of the typical fundraiser? Well, Big Boar Barbecue can offer you an alternative. How about a pork dinner? Pork, beans, and slaw. A complete meal. It's different, it's fast, and it's easy. And you don't pay for what you don't sell, guaranteeing you make a profit. So if your church, school, sports team, or special cause needs a fundraiser, call us today. We've helped all sorts of groups raise thousands of dollars. Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16, West Salem. Now that's a mouthful.
At Big Boar Barbecue.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that really actually matter. Like figuring out which remote turns the TV on, or the smell in the vegetable crisper that in no way can be vegetables, or finding your phone when you leave it on vibrate. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Welcome back, race fans. Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. Again, last show of the next couple of weeks here in the studio. We will be going till the end of October, as this is the place to watch all of the post-Oktoberfest action. Next week, we're going to be taping live in the Winner's Circle at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Saturday next week, we're going to be doing it live from the tent.
From the J&L Collectibles tent next Saturday.
Love doing that. We simulcast the TV and the radio at the same time, and it's a good time. We've got a crowd that stands out there and watches, and some of the guests we get on are simply outstanding, and we're going to have a loaded card again this year. So we're going to take you back to 2017. What a phenomenal night this was, because I just sat back. Matt Panier called this thing, and I got to watch a real truck race. This was the year Mike Egan came out, got his first win as a rookie. And Regan May, always the sweetheart of the truck series.
Yes.
Got the red shades and the red bodysuit going on, and the red
hair. Don't forget the red hair.
Got the red hair.
Don't forget the red hair.
Went out and topped a huge field at the 2017 40th Annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend, and here's what it looked like.
And here comes James Swan. Swan to the inside to take the second spot away. Christensen back to 30s, going to have some company as Nick Egan takes a peek down low, going into 3 and 4. Weinkauf unable to make the pass on Corvo, who has fought back, and Jeremy Leapak closing in on them. Swan taking a peek down to the inside of Regan May. She gives him just a little bit to look at, but he can't make the move. May stretching it back out to a truck length down the backstretch. We see Weinkoff is now taking the 5th spot away, and he's not done on the outside. Weinkoff looking at the outside of Egan now for 4th. Egan says, not so fast. I'm not playing defense. I want to play a little offense. He took a peek to the inside of Christensen. Nowhere to go, though, as Jeremy Leapak makes a move to the inside of Corvo. That will be for the 6th spot as they roll through 3 and 4. Things getting rather dicey from 3rd on back right now. That was lap number 11. All of them led so far by Regan May, the former Golden Sands Speedway champion, former Tundra Super Late Model Series Rookie of the Year, continuing to pace the field here in the Midwest Truck Series over the current point leader. Swan taking a look down to the inside again, this time at turn number 2. Can he make the run down the backstretch? Swan victorious back here in June. Looking to go for the lacrosse sweep, but May shuts the door again, going into 3 and 4. Halfway home this time by. Weinkoff has made another move, and so has Jeremy Leapak. Weinkoff to 4th, Leapak now up to the 5th spot. They'll start to put some pressure on Ross Christensen. He'll slide it right back down to the inside group to try to keep that spot sealed off as May again sees that 97 growing in the rearview mirror. Swan continuing to look inside on Regan May, has yet to try to take it to the top side, and now Jeremy Leapak's ready to make a move. Leapak sliding down to the inside of Christensen, right behind Weinkoff. So Weinkoff to 3rd, Leapak to 4th. This truck normally driven by Levon Vandergeest, now with Weinkoff behind the wheel, and it is on a tear. Up to 3rd with Leapak now closing in. It will be a 4-truck battle for the lead. Weinkoff looking inside. Swan sees some pressure coming. He looked to the inside, but once again, Regan May is able to escape. And now here comes Leapak taking a look down low. Nothing there, so he'll take it topside. Can he be a high side hero this time at turn number 4? Here comes Jeremy Leapak. Leapak cruising around the outside of Weinkoff. They go side by side for the 3rd spot now, rolling down the backstretch, but Weinkoff with a little bit of a better run. Able to edge back ahead, going into 3 and 4. Leapak again with a high side hustle. What has he got going on this time at turn number 4? Can he make the run? Leapak again able to charge on the outside. Just 6.5 left in this one, and James Swan has been all over the tailgate of Regan May. Hasn't been able to make the move just yet as Leapak swings right around the outside. He's up to 3rd. Weinkoff trying to hold on now. Swan getting ready to make his move as he dives down to the inside in 3 and 4. May trying to slam the door shut as they come out of turn number 4. To be 5 to go this time. May still holding on. Swan had opened it up. They're still side by side for 3rd. Leapak on the outside, Weinkoff on the inside. Nothing to settle that one. Suddenly Sam Mayer is also making up some ground in the 1 truck. He's up to 6th. Regan May seeking her very first Midwest Truck Series feature win. When doing it at the place she picked up her first ever Super Late Model feature win. That was here at the Tundra race back in 2014. Can she hold off James Swan for 3 more? Leapak fading a bit on the outside. Weinkoff in a 3rd. Does he have something left here in the final 3 circuits? Swan continuing to wait to make his move. Very patiently sitting back in the 2nd spot. Might slide down to the inside this time. Still can't make the move though. Weinkoff again down to the inside. He wasn't able to make a move either. prime real estate down on the bottom line here in the final lap and a half. Who's going to get there? Who's going to be able to seal it off? Now Swan takes a look to the outside as the white flag flies. One to go, and here comes Weinkoff. Weinkoff to the inside, bottoms out, but he's going to take the second spot away. Swan back to third. Does Weinkoff have a pass here? In the final set of turns, they roll through 3 and 4. Regan May keeps it down low. Checkered flags fly. Weinkoff to the inside, but Regan May holds on.
And of course, if those of you with a memory remember, she won a Tundra Series race just a couple years earlier, so it's not like she was a stranger to winning at lacrosse, but to win her first truck race in front of that huge crowd at Oktoberfest, pretty awesome.
And what made that Tundra race win more important? She never led a lap on the inside lane. She
Yes. Always ran on the outside.
Even on the restarts.
Out,
Yes.
She was doing the Steve Carlson thing. I remember talking to her in the post race about that, running that Steve Carlson lane. She never once led a lap on the inside of that track. And you've raced there for years. How hard is that?
That is.
Because nobody wants to go out there.
You have to have an unbelievable setup, number one. And number two, you really have to have the... well, she doesn't have them. You really have to have the guts to run the outside the way she did at that race, and she would just take off on people and just leave them in her wake. So, she used that experience to her advantage in this truck race.
And remember, that was her very first time running lacrosse in the Tundra race.
Yes.
Yeah, she's had two big firsts out there.
Yeah, she also said she used her dirt experience to work that outside also. So. And she's back running dirt now, so she's doing
show
well.
up at Fest and run in the sportsman class. Why not?
Oh, that'd be
Thursday night sportsman. Again, that's going to do it for the show. We want to thank our sponsors again. We're going to be out next Wednesday live in the Winter Circle at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway for the first official practice day. Going to have some good surprise guests coming on there, and then the live show along with radio coming up Saturday at least at noon. And that's going to be right here on KQEG TV. I want to thank Paul and Doc and myself, Big Boar Barbecue, for setting us up. And, hey, it's time for Fest. We'll see you next week at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Fest is best 21.
You've been watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Diker, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Reichert. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem. Big Boar Barbecue. Now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning. Thanks for watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.
Would you like a job making people happy? Well, I believe we can help you out. Big Boar Barbecue and Catering has openings for both full and part-time work. Days, nights, or weekends. Need to be free on weekends or need to be done by the time the kids get out of school? We can work with that. We need hard-working, energetic people who love to make people happy because our food makes everybody happy. Join the team at Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem. Now that's a mouthful.
Big Boar Barbecue.